with sort of a dry throat, and they said a humidifier would be good for you. That's why we bought it for the father-in-law. He'd really just suffered with a dry sort of cough, and they said a humidifier, try it. This is a humidifier as well, and this can also be sort of a diffuser. You can actually put a scent in here, so perhaps lavender in a bedroom, so that's really relaxing, and it will actually put that scent around the room. And the great thing is, because of how this moves, this will actually work the whole of the room as well. It goes from left to right, it goes up and down. It's got 12 fan settings, it's got 3 sort of air types, so you've got a normal, a natural, a sleep mode, and you've got a price that is incredible. Because if you're at home thinking, oh my goodness, this is everything that I need for my home, but it's got to be hundreds of pounds, we'll take a look. At £119.99, and I know personally the one I bought was £160, so I know £119.99 for this technology is incredible. You've got, of course, your FlexiPay. You've got 3 of those, so £40 is all you spend today. You've got your delivery on that first payment, and you've got a 14-day money-back guarantee. Just check your terms and conditions. And if you're looking at this thinking, my goodness, this is really good, and it's even got a remote as well, which comes with the batteries, which is crazy. So you've got this, take it out of the box, you are ready to go. Have a look at the features, because it is feature-packed. It allows you to control your room, the situation in your room, the coolness, the hotness, it allows you to get the humidity right. So it's got dual isolation technology, which allows you to actually circulate the whole of the room. So whether you want that room cool, whether you want that room warm, whether it's the humidifier that you're using, whether it's actually the aroma diffuser that you're using. It's great for heating. It is your aroma diffuser as well. It's your humidifier. Do your own research why that is so good. It's got an auto shut off, and you can actually time that, and that can be for 30 minutes or 7.5 hours. It's got a really easy to remote control, but you can use the controls on the machine as well. It's got 3 airflow types, and you have got, you can actually make this so it's personal to you, to how you want that room to be, whether you want that room a little bit warmer, whether you want that room a little bit cooler, whether the air in that room is a little bit dry and the humidifier, or actually you can smell the food, or you can smell the damp dog. This has actually got the aroma diffuser as well. You will absolutely love this. Price-wise, amazing value for money, but I will warn you, it will be as long as stocks last. We've had a really, really busy day today. We've had Fashion Day today, which has been a hugely busy show, and I know we've got loads of viewers, so the shows that have carried on have just been massively busy. 15% already of the stock has sold out and gone, and I can't recommend this enough. I've bought one for my mum, but it was £159.99. Bought one for my father-in-law, and they both use them for different reasons. Mum gets really hot in the summer, but then chilly in the winter. My father-in-law is always really cold and loves the heating aspect to this. But then the humidifier, he really suffers with that sort of a dry throat, and he was told a humidifier would make a difference, and he really finds it does. It ticks so many boxes, but as ever, only as long as stocks last. So write down the item number 948071 is your item number. Not alone, I've got Alex with us, and I know you are super excited about this. It's great looking, but it's just so versatile.
It is. It's absolutely fabulous. What I like about this product, I'm going to go into everything and show you how everything works here. But as I go through each feature, I can show you why. I can explain to you why this is perhaps better than your conventional fan that you would be buying. Okay, I want to strip everything right back, because this really is a smart air fan.
And there's going to be loads of reasons, because you know what those conventional fans are like. Noise for a start.
Absolutely.
They're so noisy.
There's so much to get into. I'm going to dive straight into it and just start showing you around. Any questions, just fire them out to me, because this is completely feature packed. First thing that you'll find straight away, if you turn it on, you've got your on-off switch button, which is just around the side here. Now, I've already turned it on. It automatically works as a thermostat, so it'll tell you the temperature of your room, which is 21 degrees. Straight away, that will be set to whatever it is in the room, and it will tell you the humidity in the room. So we know we've got 40% humidity in the room, and the temperature is roughly about 21 degrees at the moment. So that's working straight away off the bat. To get it started, you've got 2 options. You can work through with the remote control, which I've got here in my hand, or you can play with the LED display. Everything that's on the remote control is on the LED display, and vice versa. What I'm going to do for the purpose of the demonstration for the show today, I'm just going to do it all off the remote control just so it's quicker. But it means if you've got this by the bedside, for example, and you don't want to get the remote control, it's easy to use. So first thing you need to do is just turn on the power button, which is a red button on top. and you'll find immediately that's when the fan starts to work. We're going to talk all about the fan, why this part of the fan is different, how it's been designed, and why it should be giving you a better experience than what you're perhaps getting with a normal conventional fan. Now, the first thing I'll talk about with the fan here is the actual modes, the difference that you've got here. You've got 12 fan speeds, which is incredible.
Gosh.
When you think, we're normally talking about 3, maybe 5.
Absolutely.
With this at the press of a button, you're working up to 12 different speeds. Now, I've moved that straight up to number 5, so we're not even halfway there. That is whisper quiet. I am sat next to the fan. We've got very, very obviously the microphones that we hear are very, very sensitive.
They pick up everything. I can't hear it at all, but I can feel it.
Yeah, and you can already feel the air that's coming through. And that's with it static, because the beauty that you've got with this is it's dual technology. So it's dual oscillation technology, which means it will not only move from side to side at the press of a button, and you'll start to feel this as well now, Hayley, as it's coming round to you. But here's the really important part. It will also oscillate up and down. Now, the reason why that's important, I was showing this to my kids today. I was talking the kids through this, and it ended up turning into a bit of a physics lesson of how, because it's fascinating how this works. Because of the barreling, because of the rifling, that's what we call it here, and I'll just show you the one that I've got here. The way that this has been designed, conventional fan chops the air. So if you think, when you've got a fan, it draws the air in from the front of the fan, and it chops it up. It creates friction, and it only sends out the air to wherever it's going to be going.
Right.
So it might not be able to send it very far into a room. That's why we put it on the highest setting. Then you've got the issue of the noise, but you're still not getting the whole room, getting all of that wonderful air and obviously being flown around it. You have that with this, not only because of the dual oscillation, but because of what's known as rifling around the front here, which means, a little bit like the barrel of a rifle, when the air comes out of here, it spins. And it truly does. So it turns the air, and it turns it into like a vortex or a tornado. And if you do that with air, it's a little bit like if you were to whisk water around when you're making poached eggs or something like that. Obviously, it makes it a stronger bond, which means that air becomes a pillar. So that pillar of air can be rising up to your ceiling, hitting the ceiling and cascading down, showering you with the coolness that's coming out because the air's being pushed around. And I can show you how that happens. I'm just going to stop the oscillating for a second. I'm going to wait for it to oscillate back up to the top.
Okay.
Because this is where it's so clever. And again, this is what you aren't able to do with most conventional fans. Most conventional fans will oscillate from side to side. This will go up and down. So if you have the fan, here we go, it's like the 20th Century Fox searchlights. There we go. If I pause it there, you can see the barrel of the fan is now pointing directly up to the ceiling. So if this is your ceiling at home. Now what you can't see, because it's invisible, is what is happening to the air here. I've got this on setting 5 at the moment, but I'm going to show you with a balloon. And this is, again, I was showing this to the kids earlier because it's fascinating. This is a normal balloon. There's no tricks, there's no black magic with this. If there was a fan, your normal fan that would chop away, it would blow it away.
Yeah.
It would go somewhere off into the room until the air doesn't get to it. But because of the barreling, because it creates a vortex, it means that if I put this balloon, Hayley, here,
wow,
it levitates.
Very clever.
So clever. This balloon is being kept in place like this, levitating, because of that air that's turning, because of how it's twisting, because it's creating that vortex effect, that pillar that we're saying. If I turn up the speed on here of the fan, you'll notice that the balloon will also rise. Now, bear in mind, we've got air conditioning here as well in the studio. I'm going to go up one more level here as well. Most people aren't going to have ceilings that are going to be much higher than this, but the point I'm trying to make, that it's holding it up there. There's this invisible pillar. I'm showing you the air that is spreading that water around. And if I turn it off, I'm going to turn it off now just to show you. With it off, down comes the balloon.
Fabulous.
So that's how it's working. I mean, I've still got 3 features to talk to you about. That's just the amazement of the power of the air. Then, and when you're ready, I'll tell you about the 3 different modes that you've got of the fan as well.
It's really incredible technology, and it's allowing you 12 different levels, and there's also 3 different modes. There's a really super, I mean, it's super quiet as is, but there's a really super quiet one to sleep, and it slows down every 30 minutes. So have this on at night so you sleep well. Stock-wise, 20% now of the entire stock is sold out and gone. You've got amazing value for money. You've seen how it moves, how it oscillates, so it's going to work the whole of the room, whether that's cooling down the room, or remember this is heat as well, whether that's warming the room up, or whether it is the humidifier section that you're really interested in. Perhaps you're like my father-in-law and you struggle with quite a dry throat, and this will honestly look at humidifiers and see why they are so good. And if you are thinking home-wise, you know, the home always smells a bit, we've got pets, it always smells a bit like a damp dog. It always smells a little bit musty, or you cook a lot and perhaps you've got an open plan area and you did something like a curry and that smell hangs around forever. Don't forget there's an aromatherapy diffuser in here as well. So you can actually put a scent, perhaps your favourite scent, which will go around the whole of the room. Perhaps in a bedroom, have lavender. My producer's saying she bought a diffuser and she spent £60 on that alone, and it's just a diffuser. This is your heater. It's your fan, but like no other fan. You won't believe how quiet, how easy it is. But then it is also your humidifier and it is your diffuser. It ticks so many boxes and it looks fabulous. It's going to fit into anybody's home. My mum's home is very traditional, looks fabulous in there. My home's quite modern. It looks brilliant in my home.
It does. It looks fantastic. The features that it's got, as you said, are amazing. I'm going to jump straight into that with the humidifier again and the diffuser, as you said, and we'll take both of those together because, again, there's still so much to go through with this. The humidifier is a fantastic little feature that you've got here and so easy to use. If you're thinking, well, how does it work? How does it put moisture back into the atmosphere? Because that's what we want to do, as you said. Sometimes our rooms can get a little bit too dry. You can see down here, it will tell you straight away the moisture of a room, so you know, okay, maybe I need to pop a little bit more moisture in there because we've got 40% moisture in here. To do it, it's so simple. You have a tank here at the top, Hayley. All you need to do, I can just pop it out. You can see we've got it filled up to water to the maximum there. Yeah. You get a spout with it where the water goes in there and pop it back in. It's as simple as that.
You take that over to the tap?
Yeah, take it over to the tap if you want to, however you want to, and you just slot it back in. One press of a button on the humidifier and you'll see here straight away.
Look at that.
Look at that. And it's a really great mist. It's instant, it's strong. That's the quality of the build that you've got here. Now, where this is incredible, I've got the fan at the moment on level 1. I'm going to take it up to level 5. Okay, now where we've got it, you've got the humidifier that's coming out here and immediately being blown into the room. So this is perhaps if you've got this in the bedroom or somewhere where you want it quite close to you, it's going to be blown up into the air and up into the atmosphere. But if you're oscillating, so if you've got that dual oscillation function on, or even better, if you've got the oscillation where it's going to be moving from obviously flat to the top. Yeah. Once again, as you watch, as the barrel of the fan moves up, and I'm going to pause it again because just at one pressing of the button and you can hold it wherever you want to. Look at this. I'll pause it there. Because the fan draws its air from the back and then obviously sends it out to the front, it automatically draws up the humidified air, brings it into the vortex, straight up, like we said again, up into a cascade. So suddenly you have that wonderful humidity actually showering down on you as well.
Actually, it does work for the whole of the room. It's not just the way it's pointing, it's working the whole of the room.
And this is where, because again, this is what I'm saying about the technology. I love this, I love this piece of equipment because I can explain everything I say, I can back up with why it's, you know, perhaps better than what you would normally have from a conventional fan. Now, for example, because of the technology and the engineering that's gone into here, there is a possibility that you can cool the room with it. Now, when I say cool the room with it, yes, it works as a fan and the fan is moving air around. But if you were to have this by a window, and if it was cooler outside than it was in the room inside, it would be drawing, because remember the air's drawn from the back of the fan, it would be drawing the air from outside and then dispersing that into the room as well, depending on where you want to move it. And of course, with that dual oscillation function, it will be moving left and right, up and down, and giving you all of that wonderful, not only the humidity as we're talking about there as well, but here's the other great thing around the back here quickly, as I said, because there's a little tray here, as you can see, that fits into the back. This is your diffuser. All you need to do is put 2 or 3 drops of your essential oil, and it could be anything, as you said. It could be lavender for the bedroom, it could be citrus for the kitchen, it could be to get away the dog smells and the kids and things like that. 2 or 3 drops in there. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but take my word for it, you'd literally just pop it into the back, and away you go. And suddenly, with the power that we've got that's coming through here as well, it's going to be giving you that wonderful fragrance filling the room. And I still haven't finished. I haven't got to the heater part yet.
Honestly, it is incredible. I think every home needs one. And of course, you have got that heating element, which we're going to talk through as well. And perhaps you're worried about putting the heating on, perhaps through the winter. And even through the summer, we have some really cold nights. And I know there's no way you're going to put the central heating on. This can be that heater as and when you need it. Stock-wise, a quarter of the entire stock now is sold out and gone. We've had a really busy show. It's great to have your company today, and I know you will love this in your home. And remember, because of how it works, because of how it oscillates, it is the whole room. It's not that fan that just, as it goes past you, it cools you. And it makes such a noise, doesn't it? It's like, and then it dings on one side before it comes back. And it's only when it actually passes you that you're a little bit cooler for a moment. Then it's gone and you're really hot again. This actually creates that coolness in the whole of the room. And that moving air always feels like a cooler air. But actually, just like Alex said, if you put it by the door and let that by window, let the cool air go into the back of it, it really will feel like the room temperature has dropped. But then in the other extreme, on those cold days, and this is going to be just right in so many rooms, so quiet, perhaps it's your bedroom where you don't sleep well. Perhaps you're dreading the summer and you do like the nicer days and you like the lighter days, but at night when it's hot, you just can't sleep. My brother is the worst. When he gets hot, it's unbearable for him. He can't stand it. So having this in a bedroom is fantastic, but having a fan in your bedroom is a nightmare because it's so noisy. Now you're not sleeping. You're cooler for an instant as it goes past you and then it's gone. But this will create this amazing sort of vortex that will cool the whole of the room, but so quietly. And even when you put it onto the sleep mode, it actually turns sort of down every 30 minutes. As well, so it's as you're sleeping, and you can put it on a timer so it will automatically turn off. So if you want it to turn off in 3 hours, you can set the timer from 30 minutes to 7.5 hours. How great is that? And you can control all of this by the machine itself or by the remote control. And then Alex has just shown us the humidifier. Perhaps you do struggle with sort of, and they do say sort of dry skin, dry throats, dry noses, and someone said a humidifier could really make a difference. You've got that included in this technology. And you've also got the fact if you put aromatherapy sort of oils into the bag, that it will send that gorgeous smell around your home. So whether that is lavender for the bedroom to help you perhaps sleep a little bit better, or whether that is, a more sort of vibrant smell for the kitchen to get rid of the food smells. We are massively busy. I've bought one of these. I bought one, was it last year or the year before, for my mum, and we bought one for my father-in-law. My mum, it was all about when it's really hot, she can't bear it, but she does get really cold as well in the winter, so I loved the fact that it was sort of the cooling and the heating element. My father-in-law really does suffer with a really dry cough, and they've said a humidifier would make a difference, so we bought it for the humidifier, but he loves it because, again, he really gets cold. Even through the summer months, he'll have in the evening the heating element on it. It ticks every single box. But mine was, it wasn't this make, but virtually identical in everything that it does, and virtually identical visually. Mine was 150, well, both of them, 159.99. So you've got amazing value for money for technology like this. Mine was on offer. Mine was a good deal.
Absolutely. And so much technology that's crammed in her as well. That's what's clever. And it's how everything works together. That's what I really like about it. Each different part complements another part. So the humidifier that I was showing you, for example, yeah, humidifier is great, obviously puts moisture in the air, but it works in tandem with the fan as well to actually obviously help displace it throughout into the room if that's how you want to do it with the fan. You can also use the humidifier with the heating as well. So we're talking now about 4 different elements that you could have all into one. And that's what I want to come into the heating, because again, it's more than just heating. This isn't just your normal fan heater that you turn on and you get a couple of heat speeds and that's it. It's smart technology that's gone into it. And before I even show you the heating, I want to take you over again and talk about the built-in thermostat that you've got here. So we know that this is 21 degrees. That's the heat that's in here. To turn the heating mode on, all you need to do, and I'm going to do it on the remote control here, but you can do it on the LED switch there if you want to on the control panel. Simply press the warm button, and immediately you'll see one of the lights up the top. I'll show you this again in a second, but one of the lights turns from blue to red, obviously red for it being warm, and warm air is coming through. You've got 2 settings. It's on setting 1 at the moment. If I press it again, it will go to setting 2, which is obviously giving you a little bit more heat that's coming throughout there. If I press it again, it goes immediately to being cool. So it's such an easy unit to use. I'm going to turn it back onto heat section number 1, because I want to show you for a second what happens here with the thermostat, because the thermostat's really important. Let's say I want to set the temperature to 18 degrees heat-wise. The fan is turned off, the fan isn't working, there is no heat coming out of it. Because the machine's recognised, hang on a minute, the room's already at 21. I'm not going to waste the energy trying to heat a room to a temperature that already is. And if I work through, just keep your eye on here on the LCD, on the LED screen for a second. I go up to 19, it doesn't start again. Remember, the room temperature at the moment is 21. 20, nothing. I go up to 21, nothing. But I'm going to press it one more time. If I go up to 22, and the fan starts heating straight away. Now, when it eventually reaches the room to 22, it will automatically shut this off for me again.
Wouldn't that be great? You're laid in bed, it's a cold morning, and you know you've got to get up, but it's just too chilly and you don't want to get out of bed. You could actually, with your remote control, while you're laid in bed, turn the heating on.
Completely, and you don't have to have this next to the bed if you don't want to, because of the technology, because of the way it oscillates and it takes the air and it just, you know, distributes it around the room. It's whisper quiet to use as well. You've got all of the options that are running through here. And the other thing that's lovely about this that works with it that we were talking about, because the humidifier will also work with the heat if you want to, but you'll see here on the control, and again, you've got exactly the same icons mimicked there on your control panel, something called wind mode. You've got 3 different wind modes. So number 1, the first is normal, which you'll see here, which is like the chop fan that you can see there. Now what that means, that's just your normal fan. That will work at the different speeds and increments. We've got it on 2. I'll work it through, and that will just be working normally and obviously helping to move the air around the room. However, if I press it again to wind mode, it will go from normal to natural. This is really cool because this mimics the outside breeze, what you would expect if you were outside. So it slows down, then it gives you a little bit more.
Oh, that's nice.
So imagine if you're sat in a conservatory and you're reading a book or wherever it might be. Do you know what it's like sometimes when you've got that gentle breeze just against you? That's what this has been designed to give you. But finally, the third mode, one more press, and you'll see on the screen, it gives you the little moon crescent and the Zs next to it, because that's your sleep mode. Again, so clever, because if you have this set, I've got it at the moment set at level 5, for example. If I have a timer on this, when it's on the sleep mode, every half an hour, it will drop down a fan speed.
Clever.
Because it's clever. It's recognising, obviously, okay, well, you're asleep, you're drifting. And the room might be getting cooler as well as it anyway. You might not want that much velocity coming from the fan itself. But to do that, because you've got the timer, and I'll just come to the timer mode on here as well, so easy to use. I'm going to press the timer mode here. Have a look here on the screen. See that? 0.5? 1. Obviously 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Just at the press of a button. Now this will go up to 7.5 hours. So in November, when you're going up to bed and you want perhaps a little bit more moisture in the air and you want your room a little bit warmer, why not pop the heater on if you want to for half an hour? If you want the room perhaps to be a little bit cooler, if you want to, not cooler rather, but if you want the air just to be flowing around, perhaps having that lovely aroma going around with there as well, why not do that with the fan? Set it on a timer that will automatically turn itself off when it's finished.
A bit like having your own personal assistant. They're going to make sure your room is the temperature you'd like it to be. It's going to be comfortable. Whatever room you're in, whether that's a conservatory that sometimes can be unbearable in the summer, but then in the winter months can be too cold. You can then use the heating. Whether it's the bedroom and you just don't sleep well through the summer months, but again, this is so quiet. Can you hear the fans that are on in the studio? So it's not going to keep you awake, and a regular fan does. They're so noisy. And that fan, because that regular fan sort of swings, it only hits you every now and again. You spend most of the time being too hot. Whereas with this, because of how it works, because it creates this sort of vortex, it actually creates that atmosphere in the whole of the room. Now, we are getting busier and busier and busier, and price-wise, you have got a fabulous deal with us today. You have got FlexiPay as well, so you can split the cost. So all you spend today is actually £40 plus your P&P. You can go and shop elsewhere, but what I will warn you is if you are shopping elsewhere, you won't get our deal today. So grab the deal while it's available and use that 14-day money-back guarantee. You can see there at Currys, £149.99. So you have got a massive sort of £30 saving there. You can see Home Essentials and Ambrose Wilson, it's a great deal. They've got a good offer on, but actually it's still £10 more. So you've still got your best deal with us today. And the nice thing is we allow you to split that cost completely interest-free. Use PayPal if you wish, or FlexiPay. As long as you've got a UK address of some sort, credit or debit card of some sort, FlexiPay is available for you, even as a brand new viewer. So all you spend today is £40 plus your P&P. It's delivered to you with a 14-day money-back guarantee. 94810017 is your item number. And remember, whatever room in the house, wherever you sit or stand, or perhaps it's the kitchen, you get too hot when you're cooking, or perhaps it is that bedroom. And in the summer, it's too warm. In the winter, it's too cold. Sometimes the air is just too dry. Alex, though you look comfortable, sometimes if the room's not the right setting, you're not comfortable, are you?
No, you're not, and it's not just the room as well. It's everybody else. This is what, and you know my wife Ali, but this is what my wife would say as well. It's everybody else that's in the room with me, which is probably me and Doug. If you're wondering who Doug is the dog, the pug. It's not me, Doug, and my wife in the bedroom. But the point I'm making is, if you've got the pets in here, if it's a hot, sticky night in the summer, and you want something that's just going to make it more comfortable to sleep, because that's what we're talking about here, isn't it? We're talking about comfortable. We're talking about waking up and perhaps having a little bit more humidity in the air itself as well, but not being disturbed, having that lovely gentle breeze. All of that is what you have here, and even down to the design, and that's why I wanted to show this demonstration as well in the bedroom, because I've tried to find the smallest bedside table that we've got here, or one of the smallest ones, to show you just how compact this machine is as well, and everything that it will be doing for you, because remember, it's a diffuser as well. So you've got in here, it could be your lavender, it could be your peppermint, whatever it is, helping you relax, helping you fall asleep. You've got that wonderful dual oscillation. Now, I've just got this going up and down at the moment, but at the press of a button, I've got the remote control here in my hand, I can be making it move from side to side as well. I can see how much humidity is in the atmosphere, and I can see the temperature of the room here as well. I can use it as a heater for me if I want to. But as I'll show you again in a short while, Hayley, that fantastic rifling effect, the technology, the engineering is the word for it. The engineering that has gone into this, the way that it creates this vortex of air because of the blades, the way that these blades here, this rifling effect that you've got, takes the air and it spins it. The best example I can give of this is like a rugby ball. When you see a rugby player pass a rugby ball and they put the spin on it, they put the spin on it so that it goes further, it goes longer, and that's what your air is doing here. It's creating a vortex, it's creating an invisible pillar, if you like, that's going up and hitting the ceiling, and when it hits the ceiling, it showers you down not only that wonderful air that's being obviously distributed about the room, Hayley, but aroma, if you're going to have things in the aromatherapy. You've got the humidifier in there as well, and it's all at the ease of the touch of a button.
Now, in at 30% of the entire stock sold out and gone. So busy. I think we've lost 15% in the show so far. It'll only be as long as the stock is there. Use that 14-day money-back guarantee and get this home and change the atmosphere in any room in your home. Whether it is the conservatory, the bedroom, the kitchen, whether it's the office that you're working in, perhaps you're working from home, and it can be really unbearable through the summer months. This will always allow you to have the room never too hot, never too cold, and the humidifier is so good. Now, whilst we've got these amazing deals, do check out our microfiber cloths because they are at a cracking deal. We normally do 20 for $19.99. But we often do a double up. So it's a bit like a buy one free, and you'll get 40 for $19.99. We've actually done an offer on the offer. I don't know what's going on. We've knocked another £5 off the deal that is so good. So you've got 40 cloths, $14.99, super absorbent, so great for spillages, great for polishing around the house, great for cleaning around the house. They're brilliant as well. Have one in your handbag to clean your glasses. They're great for computer screens, television screens, and things such as that. They're super absorbent, so spillages, or put one in the boot of the car for your pet's paws before they get into the car. If you've got any of the waterless wash and waxes, they're brilliant with those as well. So do grab those. 506069 is your item number. Other items you might want to put in your shopping basket as well. Now, you found these on our website, and these are very, very clever. You get 2 of these, and they're retractable stylus printers, so touchers. So, you know, when you go to a cash point and you think, I don't really want to touch the cash point. I know everyone's touched it, and I haven't got any wipes. I've got nothing to clean my hands. You can actually use this to put the numbers in, and perhaps you always have to open your front door. Perhaps it's got a sort of a numbered door, or perhaps you've got a gate to get into, and you always think, oh, someone else has touched that before me. You're getting 2 of these, clearance price for £10, and because it retracts, it means you're going to be able to actually put that into your bag. And of course, you can use it alongside your tablets as well. But anything that you know somebody else has possibly touched in front of you allows you to use this instead of using your hands, instead of using your fingers. So you know your hands are keeping nice and clean. 582623 is your item number on those. So do be really, really quick. So be super fast with those as long as the stock is there. So grab that whilst the stock is available. And they are quite compact, so they will of course go into your handbag, into your man bag, have one in the car. Less than 100 of those available, and we're busy on that. You found that by yourself, so grab that while the stock is available. But let's get back to our smart air, and it is all about smart air. It's all about being smart as well, and making sure your home is the right temperature for you. And whether that's warming that room up, whether it's cooling that room down, or whether that air in that room is just too dry and you need a humidifier, or whether the smell in the room is just the dinner that you cooked, or the pet dog that went out for a walk. This ticks every box to make sure your room is perfect, whatever room in the home you've got, because this does so much. This isn't just about, a lot of people might look at this and they'll think it's a fan, Alex, but it's not.
No, it's not. I mean, just for space saving, as it is. I mean, that's next time what we should do, just to show you how much space is saved here, because we have a fan, we have a heater, we have a diffuser, and we have a humidifier, all rolled into one with this wonderful smart technology. But each one of these different features complements the other one. So the humidifier, for example, not only helps put more moisture into the air, but because of the way that the actual fan works, because it draws, in fact, let me just turn the humidifier on and show you exactly what I mean. Just at the press of a button as well. I was just saying, you can see it here on the remote control, or you can use it on the panel here. You can see above here, that's that mist that's coming out. This is the humidifier that you've got that's now being drawn into the actual barrel of the fan itself, and obviously allowing that to go around the room, so adding more humidity to the room and more moisture in the air, but also aroma if you want to use it as an aromatherapy, because you've got the options of putting oils in there. The key thing for me that I want to show, and this is what I found amazing, I was saying to you earlier, I was showing you with the children as well, because this is amazing. How do I mean, I was saying to the kids, how do I show people air? How can I explain to someone something you can't see, right? But because of the technology that's gone into it, it's all because of the barreling. It's called rifling that you've got here. The way that the actual barrel is designed, it means that the air that's coming out of here is spinning. It's creating a vortex. So the difference between your conventional fan is it chops the air and just pushes it out. It doesn't go very far. If you spin something, if you spin anything, if it's water, if it's air, then you create like a vortex or a pillar that can therefore be longer. It's a centrifugal force, if you like, that will hold something in place and create an invisible pillar. And I can show you that with a balloon. And when I was showing the kids this, they thought it was like a magic trick, because it's like a magic trick. If I put the, let me just pop the balloon here. Look at that. The balloon, I mean, this is like the David Copperfield of machines. The balloon is levitating because of the vortex that this is creating. And if I put a little bit more power here, then you'll find that the balloon on the fan, the balloon will rise and go higher. But Hayley, it stays within that vortex. So you imagine you've got this invisible pillar, this pillar of air that's clearly very, very strong. This is only on level 7 on the fan. This fan goes up to 12, remember, that's going up. This is hitting your ceiling, and therefore it's cascading, it's showering you down with that wonderful air as well, which is just helping obviously to do that within the room. And to show you, in fact, let's take it a little bit higher. We're at 7 at the moment.
Now, I've got to warn you, 35% now, the entire stock is sold out and gone. And whether you're trying to cool that room down or whether you're trying to heat that room, this is the control that you've got. So that is actually then going to bounce off your ceiling and create the atmosphere that you want in the whole of the room. Whereas a fan, it only hits you as it goes past you. And then that cool air has gone. And then it comes back and it hits you again. And then you're hot again. This, hitting the ceiling, sort of showering down the whole of the room. So I can feel that benefit. Yep. You can feel that
showering
benefit.
Down.
The dog laid down here can feel the benefit. It's the whole room that's affected.
And just to show you, if I turn it off, down comes the balloon. The biggest problem I had today, just very quickly, I was showing the kids and explaining to them and saying this is how it works, and then they got to a point where all of us were just going, wow, because it's so clever. It's all the technology that's built into it, and it's a heater, and it does all of the other great features that we spoke about as well.
And that is the great thing. Whatever situation you're